Today I'm going to be ranking every Dokkan banner that has come out in 2023 for JP Dokkan so far. I could do a global version if you guys are interested, but let me know down below, and let's go ahead and hop right into the ranking. So as I bring up I think this is 8, number 8, I want to preface this by saying how I evaluate a banner is the overall utility of the units that are on the pool. The headlining unit is important, but not the biggest deal, and the surrounding units around it, as well as just the available units that you can pull, are kind of the idea. I guess release context does come into it as well, like deciding when you should, like if it's in between certain banners and just kind of how it works, right? But the main thing is LR banners are just typically going to have like summonable LR banners like gold coins, teal coins, and all that are going to tend to have a bit of a lower slot on this specific instance, right? Just because of the available LRs, so you already have more cards or units in the pool, and then you want to throw on the additional LR, so there's just more chances that you can get a unit that you don't want when you summon on one of these banners, so that is why these are inherently going to be lower. So yellow coin and teal coin banners are just naturally going to be lower down the order, and again, this is my opinion. I think you really can interchange like the top 3. The worst banners I didn't really have much trouble coming up with, but the top 2, I think you should probably know what the top 2 are, just like based off common knowledge. But I think that, you know, it's tough to rank which one I prefer or which one I think is better, but you guys will see when we get into it. So coming in our last place spot, we have the new LR Super Boo banner. Now, this did get an interesting change where we have 7 featured SSRs, that being both of the Gotenks sub-EZAs. We have Tech Jinembu, who's a good unit, and then AGL Blue Piccolo, who's aged off quite a bit, LR Super 17, who still just is not in a healthy position within the game, and we have Physical Jinembu, who's very good, and then AGL Super Boo, who's obviously very good. If we look at the unfeatured, which is not on here, I guess maybe we can click on it and see, you can just see a plethora of units, and this is where the problem is. It's not just the unfeatured, but it is the sheer amount of LRs that we could pull as well. Having all of these junky LRs, like Mighty Mask and whatnot, I know he EZA'd and all that, but that is where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because there's just so many units that you could pull. Yellow coins just inherently have worse value, and that is just kind of why this one is at the bottom. Because LR Super Boo, despite him being good, the time slot for this one with Golden Week coming up very soon, and just everything going on, this banner is just, I'd say, the worst because there's just not a lot to gain here, right? Because there's a very good chance you pull somebody, let's just say like, I don't know, someone who's okay. Like, what's an okay LR, right? Like, Int, Goku, and Piccolo. Yeah, they can look okay, but they're pretty bad now. Same thing with like Tapion and Minosha. LR Turles is kind of fallen off a bit. Jiren and all that. It's like, it's cool to pull these guys, but overall, that's just really not much. So overall, I'd say this is like the one yellow coin banner during the year. One rule that I forgot to mention is that we are not doing category banners, we are not doing EZA banners, and we are not doing ticket banners. So this is the worst banner so far that has come out this year, and let's go ahead and move on to number 7. Coming in at number 7, I have the Dokkan Fest Super 17 banner. Now, the Dokkan Fest Super 17 banner being a Dokkan Fest banner, you'd think it would be above the Carnival LR banners, but no, that is not the case. I say that this banner is worse because of the featured units, right? Now, that should be pretty obvious, but obviously STR Super 17 can look very impressive, but he is pretty dupe reliant. He's just, you have to wait a long time to get him out. The Physical 19 and, who is that? Dr. Rota, I think his name is. You know, they are gentlemen, they do have a fine beverage, but that is not enough to put this banner above anything else. Tech Pan is obviously very good. The slot 1, her losing the damage reduction is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. She's still an okay unit. I'd say decent, right? Tech Android 17 and 18 are still pretty good. And then these bottom 3 are just alright. AGL Super 17 is good in a vacuum, but in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, just not really any room on the teams that he is on. And then Goten and Trunks obviously have just aged a bit. They are 2 years old at this point. So I'd say that the Tech Androids and Pan, as well as Super 17, make this an okay summon, but considering this was right after the anniversary, post-anniversary depression came in, and all that fun stuff, it's just, there's no way you could sit there with a straight face and be like, yeah, I should have summoned on this, right? You just shouldn't have the stones anyway to summon on this, anyway. They're an okay unit, but again, it's just this is just such a bad lineup of like featured units here. These 3 on the bottom, like, it's just not good, right? Then in addition with all the unfeatured, we're not really going to count the unfeatured for Dokkan Fest, but overall, I'd say just the best units on this banner. The Carnival banners just had a little bit more value. So let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Coming in at number 6, I have the Carnival Kid Gohan banner. So Kid Gohan's banner is worse than his counterpart, but still decent, right? You look at this kind of head, like the front row here, these are 3 heavyweights right here, right? We got physical Metal Cooler, we got Kid Gohan, who can look really good with the free-to-play World Tournament Piccolo, and then AGL Golden Frieza, who's someone you can slap on a team without a leader skill, and honestly, he'll look okay. Looking at the featured LRs, we have Tech Grade A Vegeta, who again in a vacuum, like giant form ESBR, maybe like a Saiyan Saga team, he can fit, but overall not the best LR. Him having like a slot 1 kit, but then also getting his defense on Super makes him not a slot 1 unit. So unfortunately, just kind of a weird design. And then the physical Goku and Piccolo would look phenomenal if they just had more defense on the exchange, but on that turn you do exchange, you just get killed. Krillin and Gohan are just old. They can look impressive, I guess, but again, one of those units I don't think many people have really ever been excited to pull, unfortunately. And then you just have like some SSRs down here with like Tech Piccolo, he sucks. I guess Tech Icarus Kid Gohan can look okay in like Super Battle Road or something if he's like a last-ditch option. And then the GT Duo, GT Trio, they did easy A, but still nothing too impressive. So with that being said, this combined with the featured or with the unfeatured LRs, there's just so many units that you can pull. But having a higher rate for 3 of the best LRs in the game right here with Gohan, Frieza, and Metal Cooler, I would say is at least puts it above the Yellow Coin banner as well as Super 17's banner. So we're just going to go ahead and move right on to the next one, and this is number 5. You guys should know it's going to be the Carnival Goku banner. So with the Carnival Goku banner, I prefer this one to the Kid Gohan banner, as Goku is the better unit. I'd say between Carnival Metal Cooler and Carnival Goku, Goku is the better unit, and then Frieza probably takes the cake over someone like Fusamasu and Goku Gohan. But Kaioken Goku being on this banner and Goku Gohan also being the other one compared to physical Piccolo and Goku just makes this a better banner overall. Goku Gohan with that Super Saiyan link set that they have can fit much better on teams that Goku and Piccolo cannot. The featured SSRs, they have the featured LRs, we have the better of the two. We have this Goku, who's better than Vegeta. We have this Vegeta, who's better than than Krillin and Gohan, and then Cell, who's better than the GT Trio. Not to mention, this Krillin, I think, is a little bit better for the support that he's providing, and you might get more utility out of this guy than you would Icarus Kid Gohan, as he is on giant form and stuff like that. Just a team that does, like, a lot of teams that have less help, right? So this banner, I would say, is a little bit better than the other one, as it does have a better, like, the big 3. So instead of it being the front row, like it was on the first one, I'd say it's like it goes up and to the left, right? But this banner, like, just compare these two images, right? Like, we have 3 good, like really good LRs here, and then on this one you have 4, arguably 5 with this Kaioken Goku. So I would say that this is the better of the bunch, and again, it is the same kind of policy that I had with the Yellow Coin LRs banner. It's just this one just overall is better, right? So that's going to be the last of the non-Dokkan Fest banners that have come out this year. Let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit tricky. 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 are kind of interchangeable in my opinion. Number 4, I have the Dokkan Fest Kale banner. So why is Dokkan Fest Kale below the God Goku banner? You guys should know that's coming next. It's the banner unit, and it's also the right side of the image, right? Frost is so much worse than the Tech Vegeta that came out, and then ROF Blue Goku is just okay, right? Like, he's an okay TUR, it's nice to have him, fun moment, cool thing, like, the form beyond Super Saiyan God in ROF. It's a really cool concept. It's a great movie, and but those two, like, that unit just doesn't bring enough to the table. Dokkan Fest Kale is amazing, but you could probably argue that God Goku is better. Now, Kid Goku and Ginyu being on this banner, that is huge. Obviously, Kid Goku with his damage reduction support, the Rainbow Orb changing, the sheer attack stats that he can put out, the defensive numbers are okay. You have him with Hachan, that's one of the best rotations in the game. And then Captain Ginyu, we all know how good Captain Ginyu is. But then we also have units like Kale and Caulifla, who again can look okay in really long content because of their heal that they have, as well as their defensive stacking. And then Kefla, who just is old, needs an easy A, and she is orb restricted, so she is just going to be a tough get no matter what, no matter how you split it, right? So this banner's okay, but overall I'd say this is the 4th best banner of the year. You could probably argue that the Carnival banners might be even better, honestly. But again, just look like how focused this is, and there's not all the unfeatured LRs. I'd say that getting Kale is better than getting a lot of the LRs on these 2 banners. So let me know if you guys agree with that one. But at 4, I have Kale. Let's move on to number 3. You guys, we already mentioned it actually, so we can just go. We have God Goku's banner. So with God Goku's banner, this one is interesting. We have God Goku, probably the best TUR in the game right now, really well-designed unit. But it's the fact that this banner has Trunks and Vegeta. That's really kind of the kicker for me, right? This banner is missing an LR, but this banner has one of the best LRs in the game a year later. Physical Raditz and Bardock, obviously, they suck, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, so we have like 6 good units here, right? And then out of the 8 featured, 6 of them are like decent pulls. That's pretty good. Compared to this one, where this is a 7 featured one, and then it's 1, 2, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's like, yeah, maybe like 3 of these units you're really chasing. But this one has like 6 units where you can be like, okay, they're really good, right? Because Namegoku's EZA is good. Int Broly can look pretty impressive against Pure Saiyan still. He's on to 200% now as well, so he looks even better. Mods of Vegeta next to Trunks and Vegeta look really good and stuff like that. And then you also have Physical God Goku, who is probably the best TOR in the game at the moment. So that's why I would have this banner above Kale, and God Goku just has more help. And the situations for God Goku are just much better than the ones for Berserk Kale at the moment, unfortunately. But that is just kind of how the way things go, right? So that is kind of, before we get into 1 and 2, I want to rank all of these banners on a scale of 1 to 10. This banner, I'm going to give like a 4.5. This banner, a 5. This one, a 6.5. We'll give this one a 7. We'll give this one a 7 as well. And then I'll give this one a 7.5. And then for the next 2, they will be a little bit higher. But coming in at number 1 and number 2 are the anniversary banners. So which one do I have in first and which one do I have in second? You guys are about to find out. Coming in at number 2, I have the GT Duo banner. Now, what the GT Duo banner has above the Buu Saga banner is they have the better headlining unit. The GT Duo was treated much better than the Z Duo. I see a lot of hate for the Z Duo. Like, people try to argue that they're like the 7th or 8th best, like not even, like barely even top 10 unit in the game, when that's just not the case. I'd say at their worst, they're like 5. They're still an incredible unit, and that defensive standby cannot be understated how good that is. But let's just kind of break this down, right? We have a terrible banner unit with Ice and Nova, but we have the best unit in the game as the headliner. We have AGL Gamma 2, who's a phenomenal unit. The AGL Metal Cooler Movie Goku and Vegeta, who are still very good, but just it's that morale boost that kind of holds them back from being like, whoa! Like, if they were just permanent morale boosted version, they'd be insane, but they're not. We have the physical GT duo, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who is still a pretty good unit. You know, a little underrated as well, but still has fallen off a little bit. They are a year old. We have Int Namegoku, who has fallen off and been replaced by the Tech Carnival Goku, but still can be used situationally. We have physical GT Kid Goku, who, again, has aged a bit. He's almost 2 years old. He's almost exactly 2 years old, actually. He came out Golden Week 2021. We have AGL UI Goku, who has... It's going to hurt for me to say this, but he's kind of fallen off a little bit, right? When content disables dodge, he is useless at the moment, but hey, his EZA is coming next year. It's going to be his time, but he has fallen off a bit. We have Physical Bootanks, who is in need of an EZA, and then we have Tech Vegito, who is a top 5 unit after his EZA. An incredible unit to use. Him and the STR Gogeta Blue are my favorite units to use in the game at the moment. AGL UI Goku will forever be my beloved, my number 1 favorite unit, but in terms of fun to use right now, it's the 5 years. They're my favorites. So this banner is incredible. Can't go wrong summoning on it, I'd say, but the number 1 banner, I think, is just a little bit better value for your stones, just all things considered, and I will tell you why when we look at number 1, but again, great banner. I'm giving this one a 9. So coming in at number 1, you guys know, GT Duo, or Z Saga Duo banner. And it's because of this banner image, really. If we just break it down, right? I'm gonna do this as a comparison, right? Let's talk about the 2 banners. So, Buu Duo, GT Duo, advantage GT Duo. Banner units, both not that good, but advantage Z Duo banner. Gamma 1, Gamma 2, I hold value to the slot 1 unit. Gamma 1 is better. STR Cooler, Metal Cooler Movie Goku and Vegeta, STR Cooler. Gods and Super Saiyan 4s, Super Saiyan Gods. Just in a better situation, better link set. It's just how the game works, right? AGL, Full Power Frieza, Int Namegoku. Full Power Frieza doesn't have a name replacement like Full Power Super Saiyan. Wow, like Super Saiyan Goku has. So Full Power Frieza is a more valuable unit, I would say. Int GT Vegeta is better than Physical GT Goku. AGL UI is better than Int Evolution Blue Vegeta. STR Vegito is probably better than Physical Bootanks. You could probably argue that at this point. And then Tech Vegito is marginally, very small, but marginally better than STR Gogeta Blue. So if you just look at that, the advantage to this one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the units are better on this banner, right? And that is a big deal. And I would say that that is why. And the Z, like I said, the Z Duo, don't get it twisted. You pull this unit, you're excited. This is a hype unit. It has really good animations, cool SSR art. Again, can look a little bit suspect defensively. They don't have that utility of the revival, but when you do get that standby going, they are invincible. And then you do get a mega attack if you can charge it up a decent bit. So don't let the hate get it twisted. This is an incredible banner, the best banner that has dropped this year. all a ton of usable units. You get dupes for Cooler, all of a sudden he becomes way more consistent. STR Gamma 1, if you have Gamma 2 and pull him, you're set with one of the best rotations in the game. You have the Tech God duo, who has aged gracefully. A year older later, they're still usable in almost all content. They can sell runs for you, but overall I'd say that they are worth the risk, right? They're just really, really good. So that is why I have this banner at number 1. If the GT Duo banner is a 9, I'm giving this banner a 9.2. Just a marginally better banner. So that is my rankings for the banners that have come out so far in 2023 over on JP Dokkan. Let me know down below what you guys think. Am I way off? What would you have different? I think 1 and 2 are pretty standard, 3 and 4 are standard as well, but maybe the order for you guys has flip-flopped. So let me know down below what you guys think. Leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here. It helps the channel out greatly. Leave a comment to talk about it. Again, helps me as well in the algorithm. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. It's been a pleasure hosting for you. I'm out.